Hello, YouTube. If you're a new viewer, welcome to the channel. Hope you stay and enjoy. If you are an existing viewer, this is not my typical vlog videos where I do a day of trucking and vlogging my experience of the day. But if you want to check out my vlogs, I'll either put a link on my left or right over here to those vlogs. But anyway, let's get to the topic at hand. So today, we're going to talk about Team OTR truck driving. And why we're talking about this is because I am a Team OTR truck driver for the mega carrier Schneider Carriers. Today, I'm going to give you some pros and some cons. So let's just jump into it. I'm going to give you some cons. Like number one, it's going to be hard for you to sleep at first. So what do I mean by that? Well, when your partner, your co-driver is driving, when you're a team driver, you're going to be sleeping. And when that truck is moving, it's going to be shaking, it's going to be vibrating. Depending on how your partner drives, you're going to feel the harsh brakes. They do have a catch net, so when they're driving and for some reason it's very shaky, you won't fall off the bed because the net will be there. And you're not supposed to sleep on the top bunk. The top bunk must store stuff. You're only supposed to legally sleep on the bottom bunk. And they have a catch net. So if you do fall, you have the net, it'll catch you. You won't fall. But the thing is, the truck is shaking, the truck is vibrating, it's moving a lot. And personally for me, the first month was really rough, sleeping in that truck moving. It was rough, man, because I'm a light sleeper. And I did not enjoy the first month trucking, but after a few months, for me, I got used to it. I was using some sleep medication, melatonin pills. It was still rough, but after a few months of just this trucking OTR team, I got used to it. So for you, it might take you a week. For other people, it might, take a month or longer. So personally, it took me more than a month. But that's what you got to realize. You're going to have lack of sleep, and it's going to be hard to sleep in a moving truck. So, con number two. You might not get along with your teammate. I'm just keep it real. Your teammate, at first you guys are like, oh, okay, you don't smoke. Yeah, I don't smoke. Oh, okay. You want, like maybe they agree to do certain time shifts, like let's say I want to do night shift and you're like you want to do day shift and we both agree. Okay, that's cool. But personally, what if their personality, their work ethic, their behavior, their skill level in terms of driving? Yeah, they can be nice person, but when they're incompetent, like they don't know what they're doing, you're just gonna be stressed out. When they're driving, you're putting your life on their hands, and you're going to be stressed out when you're sleeping because you're worried about their driving ability. Yeah, they could be nice, but if they can't drive for to save their own life, it's just going to put stress on you. So you got to really trust the person. You got to really rely on them. You got to really test their capabilities. I would say make sure that in the first week or so, really judge their capabilities to drive, and you got to make sure they're safe on the road. But even if they are safe, like let's say vice versa, they're a safe driver, they're good drivers, you don't get along with them, like you guys don't get along at all, like you guys just don't click. Like for example, my first partner, he was a good driver, we were about the same age, but I did not get along with him. He was a hard head. He didn't want to cooperate with me. He didn't want to listen to my opinions or compromise on certain things, because when you're team driving, you're basically roommates in a compacted truck. And the last straw was, long story short, he wanted to get a dog. We got a dog in the sleeper berth as a team driver. It was a shepherd, a Dutch shepherd, basically the same size as a German shepherd. And that was the last straw. It was too compact, and he was just a hard head. He wanted to do things his way, and it wasn't just like the most, fun experience, I would have to say. So, number two overall is getting along with your partner or making sure that they're, safe when they're driving. Number three, your schedule is going to depend on your partner. You want to do, let's say, 2 weeks out. Your partner wants to do 1 week out, and there's going to be some tension there. You guys have to agree with one set schedule, and it has to work with both of you guys. Because some people, they have family, they want to be out for only a week, and then they want to be home. Or some people want to just go out for 2 weeks because they don't have no family obligations. So you got to make sure before you team up with somebody, you have the set schedule in mind and you bring it up to your partner beforehand, because you guys need to compromise. Because generally, you want to just stay with one schedule. Okay, I get it that some people want to return early, but sometimes a certain schedule for you won't fit for somebody else. So number 3, you got to discuss schedules with your partner, and sometimes you might have to pick a different partner if if they don't want to do driving schedule that you want to do. Their mistakes are your mistakes. So if they wreck the truck, you're dealing with the wreck too. Okay. For example, my third partner got into a wreck going westbound on Interstate 44, Missouri, and he totaled the truck. He went in. He just went into the medium. Supposedly he was just tired, and it wasn't my fault. I was on sleeper. The tablet said he was driving, but guess who had to deal with all the calling with the company, maintenance, insurance, and dealing with the officer and talking to the tow truck drivers? Me, because the guy was so incompetent. He didn't know what to do or had any professionalism about him. So, their mistakes are your mistakes. Sometimes I'm just going to have to say, they're so dumb that you're just going to have to fix their mistakes for them or deal it for them. You know what I mean? So that's one thing. You got to make sure your partner is competent. You got to get along with your partner. You got to make sure they drive good, and you got to make sure that they're not dumb as heck. So that's one thing. Their mistakes are your mistakes. You're basically, sometimes if you're more competent, you know what you're doing, and you're a better driver than them, sometimes you're going to be babysitting your teammate at times, and it could be frustrating because whenever they make a mistake, it's going to take time away from your paycheck too. Because if he's not moving, then you're not getting paid, and vice versa. If I'm not moving, he's not getting paid either. So that's one thing. So, got to keep in mind. And the number 5th con of team trucking, I have to say, well, you're basically just, flat out and say you're not going to have any time to enjoy yourself. You're not going to have any free time. You're not going to be able to, do the things that you might want to do if you were to be, working at home. If you had a 9-to-5 job at home, you could always come home, take a shower at home, and, enjoy your TV and do your own thing. But when it comes to team driving, you're not going to have any privacy, barely any privacy. So when you're trying to enjoy yourself, you're just doing a 30-minute to 1 hour, taking a break and just your shift change, and then he's driving, and then you're just behind a sleeper, just sitting there. You can't really do much. You just got to take a shower, eat, and then you're going back there to sleep. So you don't really have time for yourself. There's not a lot of free time. The only free time you will have is when you do your 34-hour reset, where you have the mandatory sit down somewhere and reset your 70-hour clock for your work hours on your ELD. So that's really the only time. I try to schedule in my showers every night for my post trip, and then I eat right away before my partner starts his shift. And then for a 34-hour reset, that's the time when I wash my clothes, and take care of anything like appointments or anything. And just working out is very hard because you gotta fit it in your schedule. When you're going somewhere, maybe you could do it for your lunch break or do it for your 34-hour reset. So you're not going to have a lot of free time and privacy when you are team driving. So you just got to realize that. But if you're somebody who doesn't mind that, that's okay for you. But for most people, having their own free time and privacy is very important to them. So that's the 5th con. Now we're going to move on to the pros of team truck driving. For some people, the pros outweigh the cons, or they balance each other out. Others think that the cons are just, outweighing the pros. So it's not worth being a team driver. Now, at the end of the day, you got to just tolerate what you can and see if it works for you. For me personally, I did team truck driving, currently am doing team truck driving. And, I just got to accept it for what it is. So the first pro is when you're a new truck driver and you're not doing a local route, you're doing OTR. Team truck driving pays more than solo rates. So team trucking, you automatically get paid more. The loads for team drivers are a priority because Schneider, for example, they give loads to the team drivers them first. They put them as a priority because they know that the team drivers will get it done faster. Because when one person's done driving, the co-driver will start driving right away, so the loads will get done faster and cover farther distances, right? So that's one thing, when team drivers are, most of the time will be confirmed to have a load at all times when they're working, and they're not going to be stuck just sitting around. If you are sitting around, your driver leader will be paying you for sitting down if it does come to that, for, waiting at a shipper or a receiver. And solo, it's vice versa. You get paid less per mile, and the loads are not coming to you as fast sometimes. So that's what you got to realize. The second pro of team trucking is if you're new, having a partner with you is good, because what if you need help backing? You can call your partner, hey man, I need help. Or what if you need to put on snow chains, for example? Right now it's winter season. They can help you put on the snow chains and it'll get done faster. It's just there for like safety and reassurance that your teammate will have your back when you're driving. Of course, you gotta have your own personal responsibility and independence when you're trucking. But when you're new, having a teammate there always to double check your workflow and your helping you back and maneuver and reminding you to be safe, it's a good thing, because you are gonna have problems. You're gonna struggle. You're new. I was new, and having a teammate there was helpful. So just realize that it is for safety. Basically, a teammate, is good for safety, and they can help you. The third pro as a team truck driver is, you could potentially have a friend. Maybe a stranger. You guys work together. You guys get along. That's a friend to keep you company. So you're not always lonely and you're doing your own thing. You have somebody to talk to, communicate, and basically share your experiences, because you're doing the same job and you're roommates, So you might have like a friend, a future friend, to get along with and, share your experiences together, and you're working together too. Also, sometimes some of you might work with a friend or a family member or a spouse when you're team trucking. That could also be getting rid of the loneliness. But, like me, I was trucking with random strangers, and some of them I actually did get along with. So, you might not get along with the guy, but if you do, it's a bonus, because you have somebody to help you, and you have somebody to talk to about, today, just somebody to just complain to, and you guys will just laugh and goof off and, hang out at different cities when you guys are doing your 35-hour reset, just to hang out and get along, not just work. All right, so these are the pros and cons of today's video of team truck driving OTR. I know that there was more cons than pros, but you just got to take it for what it is and see if it's right for you. And this video might be for you because you're looking at, if you want to do team truck driving, you're about to apply for a position as a team truck driver. You just got your CDL, or you're about to get your CDL with a mega carrier, and you're thinking about doing team truck driving because of the more pay. Just listen to this video and see if the pros or the cons outweigh each other, and you go from there. You make your own personal decision on where you want to go with this. So if you want to check out my vlogs, I'm going to put a link up here. But that's just for today's video. Peace.